Hello and welcome to Mellow Labs. On today's episode, we are restoring / improving / upgrading this cheap eBay claw machine toy. Like I said, you can buy these on eBay anywhere from like £25 all the way up to like £130. I don't know why anyone would pay £130 for this. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't come with anything extra. If you did buy one for £130, let me know. How was your experience? Luckily, I didn't have to pay a single penny for it because one of our neighbors threw it out. I don't know why, it worked perfectly fine. Actually no, that's a lie, I know exactly why they threw it out. Let me demonstrate. I'm so sorry for what you're about to hear. And then you move these knobs to get your things. And you are rewarded with the sound of what I can only assume is supposed to be cheering, but sounds like an orphanage burning down. With the demo out of the way, let's take it apart. I'm going to start by taking off the top. We'll have a look at the gantry system first. There are 10 screws holding this top lid on. Ta-da! Ugh, this is an ugly mold. Jesus. I'm going to take this top lid off too. That smells like burnt out motor. But yeah, it's relatively simple. We've got 4 limit switches on all sides so that it doesn't try breaking out of the box. And I think there's 3 motors in here. We've got 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. So there's one for that way, one for that way, and one for the up and down thing. I'm not going to take this apart any further. I can see there's a bunch of gears and stuff, and I don't really want to disturb those because I'm mostly keeping the top bit the same. Right, let's piece this all back together and we can have a look at the other side. Ooh, it runs on 3 D batteries. Man, I've not seen D batteries in a while. Okay, 1500 screws later. Ta-da! Oh, there's a blob chip in here. Why did I expect anything else? I guess we'll have to replace all of that. Again, this is relatively simple. The joysticks are soldered onto the main motherboard. The coin detector is literally just a contact switch, so that's nice. The system that detects whether you've won something is done by an LED and a photoresistor, and it misses like 80% of the time, so I'll probably change that to something else. Apart from that, there's actually a lot of space in here, which is quite a nice contrast to my other projects where I usually have to jam as much electronics into a tiny space as possible. So this should be like relatively easy. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, I've jinxed it all. So I've had a chat with my partner and we decided that we want to fully repaint this machine. So I took it apart to its individual pieces so that we can sand it, prime it, and then paint it. My partner, if you don't know, she's an artist. She does a lot of painting of stuff on my channel. She painted my bot. She did the Catbox video. Check her stuff out in my description below. She does absolutely astonishing work. During my teardown, I realized I don't actually have the cover that's supposed to go in here and keep the coins from falling out the bottom. And I don't fully understand how it's supposed to like lock in place here, and also my printers are currently unavailable, so I can't do it myself. Luckily, I know someone who might be able to help me with this.
So that moment right there, I can see that I am not fully listening to Thomas. Thomas is the guy who brought that arcade machine part. He's a maker in his own right. He has a YouTube channel called Mellow Labs. He's a smart guy, and what he's trying to tell me is that he can't figure out how that latching mechanism works. But in my eagerness to have a successful repair, I completely bulldoze over that challenge, oversimplify it, and quickly turn this into the most complicated repair of the day.
Well, that took a little bit longer than I expected, but I didn't have to do anything, and we've got a lid. Where do we go from here? Most of these parts are not my problem, so let's just put them all in a pile. I only care about the electronic parts, and this can go to my partner. So with that being taken care of, let's talk about the changes I'm going to implement, starting off with LEDs. I'm going to have a strip of addressable LEDs on top so we can have like cool light effects going around whilst we're trying to play. I'm changing none of this. we're adding a better speaker. I'm changing the detection sensor because the one that's currently in there is terrible. The coin slot is going to be pretty much the same. I don't see a good reason to change it, which gets us to the biggest change of it all. Previously we had those 3 little joystick switches, which works, but I want to gamify it a bit more. I want it to be a bit more like a regular arcade where you push the button and the claw goes down and brings back up whatever. It doesn't let you control like how far up and down the claw goes, so you can readjust. So that's the biggest change I'm making. The joysticks you can control left, right, backwards, forwards, and then the button will just go down, grab, come back up, take it over to the dispenser thing and drop it. It's been a couple months since I recorded the last clip, and things have happened. I've been working on this in the background, but I've not been recording much of it, so we'll kind of have to quickly go over what I've done. First of all, it's painted by my partner. It's not fully finished yet, there's still things that need to be added, but I can start piecing things together. So, I did make the electronics for this, and I guess we'll go through them now. This is the motherboard I made for this project. It's composed of 2 Raspberry Pi Picos. One controls the controls, and the other one controls the lights and the sound. We've got the soundboard, the noise amplifier, 2 motor drivers, which lets me control 4 motors. There's only 3 motors in this, but in case I ever want to add a fan for very intense games, why not? And a back boost converter, because I think I'm going to be running this off like a 12-volt power supply. Right, we've got a whole bunch of connectors at the bottom. Let's connect all the different things that need to be connected to them and see if it still works. I've got the code running on both the Picos. It's still in very early development because there's supposed to be a coin slot, which I don't even have connected yet. That actually starts it going, but for now it just goes from the get-go. So I have control of the gantry right there, and then this button will play a sound effect and some lighting effects and deploy the thing. So theoretically, if I go and the sound kind of continues for a while because it's just going through all the GPIO pins. At least I know they all work. Right, now that we've got most of the stuff that's going to be in the top of this working, I can start cleaning it up. I'm going to put the lids on and I'm going to run these wires down into the base and then deal with them down there. So cue time-lapse, I guess. I've got all the annoying wires run. The board kind of fits in there. Honestly, it looked pretty much the same when it had the original electronics in it. But yeah, that will eventually go like here somewhere. We still have the bottom plate, but yeah, there's still loads of room in here. So I've still got a whole bunch of stuff to do that I'm probably going to do off screen. I need to implement the coin slot. I need to fix this because this gets stuck. I need to reprint all of this because this needs to be changed. I need to fix the felt, and I need to write a whole bunch of code. Oh, and I need to add the detector thing because I've got nothing to detect whether you've actually won something yet. So let's cut to that. I fixed it. I've made a new faceplate. All the things are spaced out properly now. We even got the coin slot, which is working, but it's not implemented in the code, so it's still just live. The lights are in. I don't know what else I was supposed to fix. Oh yeah, I added an IR sensor here to detect whether something is dropped. So now, theoretically, I can do... The controls are still mismatched, so I need to reprogram those. I'm impressed too. So theoretically, if I take this over to... Cool. So this is going back to my partner because the paint job needs touch-ups, and I'm gonna hyper-focus on the code. First of all, we have 2 Raspberry Pis. One of them handles the inputs and the motors and the claws. The other one just handles the special effects, the lights and the sounds. I've done it this way to minimize the load on the main CPU, which mostly just takes care of the main game part, because you don't want to move your thing and then the game's like, oh, wait 2 seconds because I've got to go check a bunch of things before I can do the thing. Don't want that, so separate things. So you insert a coin and then a 60-second game starts, so it lets you move around, blah blah blah, and then it waits for the button to be pressed so that it can send the claw down, and then when the claw is down, It also checks for the IR sensor, whether there's something dropped into the winning compartment. If it hasn't, it brings the claw back up. So you're probably wondering, why am I checking the compartment at the bottom of the claw? That's because when I was doing some testing and I dropped an item into the thing, I can take it out before the claw goes back up to check whether anything's in the win compartment. So I check it at the bottom so that way it drops a thing and it knows that I've actually won, instead of, just being like, oh, well, the game continues. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it that way. It's kind of annoying, but it works. So if there's anything in the compartment, it sends a win message which plays a different sound and flashes the LEDs green. If you run out of time, that sends a lose message which just blinks the LEDs red and plays a losing sound. It's as simple as that. It's finished, for the most part. I finished the code, I finished the electronics. I think it still needs like a little bit of paint touch up, but that's not up to me. But for the most part, it's done. So I can actually wait, let me get a coin. I can actually put in a coin, which will turn it on, and I can move it around. It has music, and when I pick something up, like so, I can take it over to the reward thing and drop it in, and it will be detected. You have won an item. And it will tell me that I've won an item. The coin got lodged. So yeah, months of work just to change the music, because I didn't like it very much. Was there an easier way of doing that? Probably. Was this a fun educational experience? It was an educational experience. The end goal for this is for me and my partner to bring it to conventions and have a bunch of different artists work in here, so that people can have a go, win some of them, and take them home. Because, it's more of a collaboration project. As well as doing all the aesthetic stuff, my partner also chose the music for this, which is from the album Paw Print Panic by Napcast. It's very cute. It works perfectly for this. We haven't fully decided on the sounds for celebration and losing. For now, it's just me saying you've lost and you've won, but it works for now. If you have any suggestions, let us know down below. Yeah, that'll be it. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to become a Patreon and support the weird things I do, please do. And until then, I will see you next time. Goodbye. The whole thing's a lie. It's not even put together yet. I just don't want to deal with it anymore.